I knew Sarah would die. I saw it in her eyes the moment she arrived at the boneyard. I could see it in the way she talked and the way she pulled at the sleeves of her government-issued windbreaker jacket. She smiled too much, tucked the dark hair behind her ear and tilted her head, like if she tried hard enough, the world would forget she wasn't human. But I knew that underneath all her warmth, it had already started. She wanted to tell, to utter the words that would erase her from the world. We're secrets wound into human skin, after all. Telling secrets is what we were created to do. Once the thought starts, it grows. A sickness of syllables that plants an itch somewhere deep in the chest. From the tightness on her face, I could see that the sentence was starting to spin together like a ball of sparks in her mouth. But even knowing what would happen didn't make me ready for it. I'm never ready for it, and I sure as hell didn't want it to happen. I liked Sarah. There was a sense of inevitability about it that coated my lungs with a thick, inky dread. It lessened over those 6 months she stayed at the boneyard. 6 months of the sound of her hairdryer in the bathroom at 5 a.m, of her singing while waiting for the toaster. But for some reason, I wasn't thinking about it when it happened. Maybe it was because it was one of the first cold nights after a long North Carolina summer, and she was so excited to be able to wear the chunky gray scarf we found on sale at Target. Maybe it was because there hadn't been a haunt attack for a month, so we were able to avoid the bad publicity those brought on. It had been a while since we'd needed to cover over spray-painted skulls and crossbones on our front porch, the ones we could always expect as retaliation for some shit the haunt pulled. Or maybe it's just because you never really expect someone to die in the middle of a homecoming game. The bass was deep, rattling the aluminum of the bleachers as I tugged at my jacket and looked around. The field below was drenched in floodlights, and the bleachers on both sides were filling up. It was a fall night, the kind that follows a day that still held on to summer but carried a chill on its edges, and it was windier at the top of the bleachers than I'd expected. "I hate this," I whispered. "I told you to bring a bigger jacket," Rory replied, unwrapping a piece of gum. "I'm not even cold," I grumbled back. There were too many faces around us, too many new people. I hate being trapped in the middle of a row. This is going to be a nightmare if I have to pee. Rory popped the gum in her mouth. "Do you have to pee?" I was still for a second as I considered. "I don't know." "You don't know if you have to pee?" she asked. "Jury's still out," I replied. Rory gave me a sideways glance, a smile playing on her lips. "Come on. This is good old American fun, nostalgia, crosstown rivalries."